Thursday. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. Welcome back to the vlog. If you are new here, hi, my name is Emmy. I am a certified nutrition coach as well as a qualified NPC wellness athlete competitor. So if you are new here, remember to hit subscribe so you can be here for the rest of the journey. But today we are actually finally going and getting our blood work done for the end of the gut protocol. Now, I have been on a gut protocol through the Rise HRT clinic to help with my gut health, to regulate things, to try to correct the functionality of it, to help with my PCOS, fingers crossed. Everything kind of all goes in together and works together in tandem. So that was the goal, and I have been on this for the last 4 months. I had been doing a DIY, no antibiotics. We went low and slow, and so I'm going to go get that done. I'm going to take you guys along with me, so if you're a little squeamish, you might want to skip ahead, but I'm going to share what how we got started, the whole story behind the things, and so yeah, stay tuned, and let's go get some blood work done. Good morning. So it is a few days later, 5, I think. Well, no, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, so 4. It's been 4 days. All of my blood results have come back, so that's good. And I figured that today I would actually go over them with you. I would show them what they were previously before the gut protocol. I would then show you, yes, then I would show you what they look like now, what's changed, what hasn't. Definitely some things that we were hopeful that would change that didn't, and what the next steps are. And yeah, I'll go in a little more in depth with the actual protocol itself and what it is supposed to do and what it has done. So I'm excited to share that with you guys. And then yeah, so I'm gonna finish breakfast because we're getting ready to go hit glutes today. It is Monday, and then we will come back and I will share some things. I'm gonna start editing a few things as well. I'm really excited to share this information with you guys because it's something that a lot of people don't talk about, how important it is, especially as a bodybuilder, especially as a competitor. Your body needs to be functional, and in order to be functional, there are some things that you have to do to make that happen. So yeah, we're gonna finish up and then I will see you in a little bit and we'll get down to all the dirty nitty-gritty details. So let's go. All right, so we are back from the gym. We have showered, we have cleaned, we are ready for the day, and I figured we would start with the why. Like, why did I do this gut protocol? How did I get started? That kind of thing. So the gut protocol was started based off of back in the day when, after I had had my daughter, who you saw earlier in the video, Nova, I ended up having a lot of gut issues then. After about a year of craziness and back and forth and things like that, was then diagnosed with like IBS. So I was put on different medications and things like that to help with that and to help with the flare-ups, and it was going really well, but it was just kind of covering the symptoms and covering the flare-ups. It wasn't solving the issue. So hook nor crook, then we end up getting into the bodybuilding. We end up, getting with different coaches and things like that. And then we end up with my current coach, Thomas, who was like, have you ever had something like this done with everything that you've got going on? I was like, no, I haven't. Didn't even know it was a thing. So he was like, the gut controls so much and it holds on to so much inflammation. And he's like, I think you have a lot of inflammation. So we decided that we would go through the Rise clinic and get one started. So I had some blood work done, and then I had a stool test done. And the stool test tested so many different things. And when those finally came back, it basically told me I had no good bacteria and all the bad bacteria. And I was inflamed. I had so much bad stuff going on. And when the gut is not functioning, the body shuts down all other functions to try to get the colon and the gut to function and work together. It's like a fight or flight mode. And my body was in a major flight mode. Like it was just struggling. So we ended up starting this gut protocol. Now it was different supplements. It was, like I said earlier, 4 months of treatment. You guys, I went through 4 different phases, 4 different months. It was crazy. And it actually ended up, my IBS was much, much better. My bowel movements, TMI, I know, once a day, if not sometimes twice a day, which, you guys, I guess that's normal. I was going like every couple days. I thought that was normal, but it's not. All in all, it was a really, really great start, and they had said that if I got this taken care of, possibly my symptoms of my PCOS and the fact that I have not had a cycle in almost, well, about a year and a half. January 2024 was the last time that I had a cycle. And needless to say, fighting with my PCP and trying to be like, hey, this is a problem, this isn't working, when I'm not on a birth control, which I went off of, by the way, because I was having like month-long periods when I was on it. It got to that point and I was like, I need to be off the hormones. Like I can't stand this anymore. So in January 2024, I went off of it, and then they were going to give me some Provera, which is a medroxyprogesterone chemical compound that would help me to actually have a cycle. And I would take this pill, this moderation, whatever, for 5-6 days, and then I would then bleed every 3 months or so, just so I could slough off this stuff, you know, and make sure that things are getting out to reduce my risk of cervical cancer, endometriosis, all those things. Well, it wasn't working. We tried it 3 different times, 3 different doses, and the PCP was like, I don't know, and trying to fit me into a box. And I was like, yeah, no. So went to the Rise Clinic, and they were hopeful that that could actually, by fixing my gut, it would then turn on those functions and I wouldn't be in fight or flight mode, and my body would be like, oh, let's actually do the things we're supposed to. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, but I will actually talk about what I took coming up in a second, but I'm going to finish eating this and I'll get right back. All right, so we're back. So the whole process of the gut protocol was, like I had said earlier, in 4 different phases. So the first phase was actually the prep phase, and then there was I got a whole sheet, you guys. So first, the first 2 weeks there was like a detox clearance kind of phase, and then we went into a support phase. And then after that, we then had our 3rd phase, which was the kill phase. Now the kill phase is what went in, killed all the bad bacteria, and just really went to town on my gut, right? It went to war, and my body could feel it. I'm not gonna lie, it was a little rough. But we pushed through, we did the things, and then we ended up having the healing phase after that. So that took the whole entire 4 months, but we went through a bunch of different supplements at different times. So for the kill phase, the first 4 weeks out of the 8, we had a certain collection of supplements. We had oregano oil, we had some olive leaf extract, for example, and then we had some IgG and some probiotics and things of that nature. Well, then come the next kill phase, part of the kill phase, which is another 4 weeks, we then removed one of the supplements that I was taking, and we added in a new one. And that whole combination is what worked the best to get all the bad bacteria out. Then we ended up following up with a healing phase to add the probiotic to get that good bacteria back in there, get it established, and get it all happy in its new home, to keep things moving and keep the gut just nice and happy. But while taking this, I also took all my other supplements, but a couple of the supplements that I took every day was highly recommended, and I ended up needing 2 pill containers, you guys, to hold everything, because it was a lot of supplements. But I wanted to talk about, or at least bring up, chill factor, heal factor, as well as GI Factor and Detox Factor. Now this is from Pure Factor Formulations. I do have a code, it's my coach's code, I'll put right here. But all of these in combination helped that I took with food, with meals, to help things digest easier. The chill factor was actually something to help with my stress and the body stress that it was going through, to help keep things cool, calm, and collected. And then the heal factor was actually really, really helpful for healing the process and healing the gut as we went through, because I put it through the ringer to get this protocol all taken care of. I love this stuff. It has been a game changer for my health, for my gut, for just overall supplements that are clean, shipped quickly. The company, the brand, what they stand for, everything's just great. I cannot speak highly enough about Pure Factor Formulations. So please, links in the bio, just check them out. They have lots of different things to, you know, help with whatever you might be going through. But yeah, that was the total of the 4 months, and kind of a little bit of the background of like what we went through and what we took and how we moved through all of the things. Now I'm going to actually show you blood work and what my blood work looked like before, what it looks like now, what's improved, what didn't, and then what those next steps mean, because we've got some big changes coming to really make a difference in my competitive career, in my overall health, my overall goals, all the things. So if you have any questions about these supplements or Pure Factor Formulations or even the Rise Clinic, let me know, comment below. And if you have any questions at all, and if you want to know more about kind of the gut protocol itself, I can definitely go into more in-depth conversation about it. So when I come back, after I'm going to get logged into work, and then when I come back, we will talk about blood results and what my body looked like before we started, what it looks like now, because you guys, we lost like 15 pounds. So like, and most of it was inflammation. So it worked. But yeah, so I will be back in a little while, and until then, we'll see. All right, so now it is time for the nitty gritty, all the details, all the results of the blood tests, or blood test, I should say, because that's what the whole thing was about, is trying to see if things got improved. So I'm going to kind of talk about them, and I'm also going to then, there we go, I'm backwards, put them up on the screen. So there was a bunch of different kind of panels that were done. The CMP was done. It tested my cholesterol, LDL, HDL, AST, ALT levels, hormone levels, really on the high end specifically, and testosterone and cortisol, and the list just goes on and on. Well, mostly everything came back pretty normal in comparison to what my beginning blood work was in February, or should I say end of February. So at the beginning of the process, at the end of February, my physique actually looked like this right here. And as of this morning, it then looked like this. So this is after 4 months of getting everything tested, getting everything worked out, and all those things. So that's what we're dealing with. Result-wise, everything came back pretty good. Pretty doggone good. The only things from the first blood work set to this blood work set where we actually had some really good improvement was my ALT levels and my AST levels. So my ALT levels I'll put here. I'm sorry guys, I'm so backwards. Right here. So my ALT in February was 64. And as of last week, when I had my blood work done, it was to 24. So that is huge, because the normal range is actually 6 to 29 of U over L liters. So that greatly improved. Now your ALT and AST, that is like your liver and your kidneys, because they were shot. Usually that happens with prep, but the last experience that I had with prep and everything, I just got really sick. So seeing those numbers get fixed really does my heart good. The other level, as I had said, was my AST levels. Now
originally back in February, it was a 45. When I had my blood work done last week, it came back at 25. Now, the normal range for an AST level is actually between 10 and 30 U over liters. So also really, 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 really great. So very happy to see that. That's going to make Coach extremely happy when he sees those today. Everything else, relatively good, like I said, but my hormones were the issue. And we had hopes that the hormones would improve, but unfortunately that was not the case. So my progesterone levels and my estradiol levels were the same as they were, and those levels actually came back in the range of postmenopausal, which I am 31. I am not in menopause. I have not gone through menopause, obviously. But it just physically and basically shows that my progesterone and my estradiol is like completely non-existent, which we knew from the get-go, from when I was a child, from when I was diagnosed with PCOS. My body doesn't make the hormones that it needs to make without extra help, without something medically intervened in order to tell the body to do the things. Back then, didn't realize how bad it was, because Western medicine way back then, they didn't do the full hardcore hormone panels. It's just not something that your basic Western medicine, basic primary care will actually do. They do the minimum to get them by. The Rise Clinic will actually take that and go way over and cover all the things. So I was actually able to really truly see how bad this has been my entire life, essentially, and that it's not improved. Things are not in a good place, and my body just, it feels broken. It just, as a woman, when you're told that you can't make progesterone on your own, and medical intervention that they've tried to use like doesn't work, for your common solutions for most people, like the medroxyprogesterone and things like that. That's one of the reasons why I went through such a hard time with my fertility treatments in order to have my child, Nova, my little girl. We had to do injections. We had to do all the things. Like, I had to really put a lot of crap into my body in order for my body to respond, ovulate, to actually be able to drop an egg to be fertilized, to even get pregnant. One of the reasons why we only have one kid and not multiple, because that was hard enough as it was. I've got a whole bunch more about that if anyone is interested. That's a whole story for a whole other day. But yes, so blood work came back that way, and waiting on Coach to get back, but definitely have some game plans, and getting started on estrogen and progesterone is very, 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 very likely. I'm just waiting to hear back from Rise. I'm waiting to hear back from Coach, and what the next steps are of how we get it, what my dosage is going to be, and how we're going to move through, and how it's going to look for my bodybuilding career, my bodybuilding goals, and things of that nature. So if you feel, I just, little PSA, if you feel your doctors are not listening to you, if you feel that something just doesn't, it's not clicking, they're not getting it, you know something is wrong, but they're not taking you seriously, you need to advocate for yourself. You need to actually push forward and make sure that you're getting the help that you need. And I'm very thankful that the Rise Clinic was actually there for me to help me to get me through this. My gut functions better. I'm feeling better, you could tell from the beginning physique that I had in February to what I look like now, like game changer. Yes, I've had some nutrition changes. Yes, I've had some good training, good coaching behind me, but the inflammation is completely gone. Like, it is amazing how much better my body feels and looks, and it's a game changer. And I'm so excited to see what is going to happen once we get things moving. So when this whole process starts, I'm probably gonna vlog and do another video again, because that's just what I do. So I might end the vlog here, and if I do and you don't see me again, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. You know the drill. Comment a little heart below to show me that support. Love you guys. And because the next one, I think when we start this, I'm going to take you along for the journey and how this all works, and what it's going to mean for show and all those things. So I'm very excited. I had to mentally come to grips with the fact that I was going to have to go through some hormone replacement therapy, because like I said, I felt broken. I felt like this was something that, you know, was out of my control, and I hate being out of control. If that makes sense. Yeah, if you know, you know. So it'll be good, and I've come to grips with the fact that, like, this is going to be good for me. So thank you guys again for watching. I know it's probably a longer one than normal, but big things are coming, good things are coming, and be an advocate for yourself. Stick to your health, focus on your health. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. You got to take care of yourself. You got to be able to make sure that you have one body, you take care of it, you only get one. So anyway, I will catch you guys on the next one, and thanks for watching, guys.